We are a few minutes early, so we'll wait until everyone else also shows up. So, last class today, how many of you are relieved, excited? We'll start in maybe 2, 3 minutes more. I can only see 10 people in the class. So, yeah. Okay, let's get started. I can now see 18 people in the room. Welcome in. I can see Dwayne, Fedora, Francis Evans, Geetika, Jyoti, Neha, Prachi Serene, Pramila, Priyanka, Puneet, Sagar, Sambit, Shambhavi, and Shreya Kushal Shah. Can all of you hear me clearly? And is my screen visible to everyone? Excellent. So, welcome to the last eighth and the last session of the email marketing module. Today, I'm going to take you through a number of different tools. You've technically completed pretty much everything that you need to know to start, plan an email marketing campaign. You even know how to create an email and manage databases, create one, draft it out in MailChimp, and send it out and track. But today, I want to show you a few different tools that can help you in each of these processes. So, this is our agenda. We are going to look at deliverability tools, database tools, email creation tools, a template for strategy, and then if you want to, we can have a recap. But I think it might be better if we have a Q&A session where you can bring up any questions that you have, anything at all, and discuss email marketing for the last time with me. So let's get started with the tools. Stay with me. I might ask you to try something on your own and come back and tell me what you found. Okay. So let's start with the most important tool for any digital marketer, and this is a tool that all of you are already using. This is a tool called Google. So if there's anything at all that you need to know, let's say you want to know what is A/B testing. So let's ask Google, what is A/B testing in email marketing? A/B testing your email marketing, email campaigns is also called split testing. It's a way of working out which two campaign options is most effective in terms of encouraging opens or clicks. And you can read even more if you click on this. Let's say you want to know how to create good subject lines for email. There's plenty of resources available. So, Google should be your best friend as an email marketer. MailChimp not letting me send emails. My subscribers aren't receiving. I'm not receiving. Common rookie mistakes. So, Google is a really, really, really good tool for a number of different things. Learn to navigate Google clearer than what you may be doing right now. So let's do a little test. I'd like all of you to open Google and type in this term that I'm giving you in the chat window. Type it in, do a Google search on this, and come back and tell me what you find. So what's happening? What are you finding? Screen rotates, right? This is what is called a Google Easter egg. Google is full of fun stuff like this, in addition to all the heavy duty, really good work that the tool does. So have fun with Google. Let it always be open when you're trying out your different tools and your strategy. Later today, I'll also show you how to find out different kinds of information using Google, and not just with a simple Google search, but a little more. So, are we ready to get into deliverability tools? What is the how do I measure deliverability? Who remembers? What is deliverability and how do I measure it? And what is delivery rate, Pramila? How about the others? No, open rate is not part of deliverability. But yes, like Pramila says, number of emails delivered to number of emails sent as a percentage is your delivery rate. Everybody who's confused about this, please go through the videos and the notes. This is there from our first week. It's really important that you know this, okay? So that's the first most important thing. Other than delivery rate, you can also look at bounce rate. No, when I say how do I measure it, it has to be specific metrics, right? So bounce rate and delivery rate are the two ways by which we measure deliverability. Let's look at how to improve deliverability. So IP address, everyone remembers IP address? It's a unique string of numbers assigned to every device by the internet service provider, right? And your IP address can have a big bearing on your reputation because when the mail server does the reputation check on your email, it looks at the IP address from which the email has come. Let's find out your IP address. Let's find out where you stand on that. So, Google, I want everybody to go and do this, please. Do this Google search and come back and tell me when you're done. Done? Okay. Now we're going to find out more about this IP address. These are your IP addresses, right? Let's find out how good the IP address is from an email sending point of view. Let's first find out whether you are on a blacklist. Do we remember what blacklists are? So, a blacklist, you could get put on a blacklist if too many of your emails have bounced. And since the reputation check looks at blacklist to see whether you're on a blacklist, you will want to make sure that you're not on too many blacklists, not on any blacklist really. So, here's your tool number 3. This is mxtoolbox.com/blacklist.aspx. Try the link and see if it works. Yes. So what you need to do is the IP address that you've just found out, type it in into this, copy paste it into this, and then click on blacklist check and come back and tell me what you find. What do you find? How many blacklists? Scroll down, you'll be able to see. Okay, so Puneet is on 4 blacklists. I'm very certain most of you will be at least on a few blacklists. Give me the number, tell me how many blacklists you're on. Priyanka is on 6. How about the others? How many blacklists are you on? Pramila, can you refresh it? Try it again. Sagar is on no blacklist. Okay, Sagar, which internet service provider are you using? Shreya is on 9. Fedora, which one are you using? Fedora is on only 1. Sambit is on 6. Exitel, okay, I'm not aware of this one. Geetika is on 5. Jyoti is on none. Sharon, you have to find out your own email, your own IP address first. See the previous tool in Google, it's right there on the slide. Copy paste that and put that in. Ethernet is the name of the internet service provider, Fedora. Okay, is there anybody who's on more than 10 blacklists? Okay, that's nobody. So, most people you'll notice are on at least 5 or 6 blacklists. It's not great, but it's okay. A lot of people on the very popular networks, and the popular networks usually end up on at least a few blacklists, the popular internet service providers, that is. If you want to get yourself off the blacklist, what do? You will need to contact the blacklist owners. If you look at the MX Toolbox report, it'll show you the name and details of the who's maintaining that blacklist. So you'll need to find out their contacts and contact them and explain that you're an email marketer and ask to be taken off the blacklist. I've been advised that it takes them, they respond usually within 24 to 48 hours and take you off the blacklist. Okay? So everybody's clear so far? Okay, let's look at our third one. What are the things that go into a reputation check? Who remembers? Blacklist is only one of them, whether you're on a blacklist or not. What are the other things that go into reputation check? No, no, Sagar, that's not reputation check. Reputation check is done by the mail server on every single email that passes. Yes, it looks at your history as a sender. And what are the things that go into this history? There are some very specific things that it looks at. Whether you've been marked as spam? No. It looks at whether you've been caught by a spam trap. I think all of you need to revise the first week's session. It was a heavy session, but you've had a month. Please go back and revise it. Watch the video again. It's very important. Unsubscription rates. No, I have not mentioned that, Sharon. It looks at spam trap catches. It looks at user engagement stats. It looks at volume of email. It looks at blacklists, right? So here's a tool that will help you understand what your reputation is. And that's sender score. I'm giving you the link. You'll need to use your IP address again for this. You don't need to create an account. Just put in the IP address, click on I am not a robot and wait till the circle stops and becomes a tick, and then click on view partial report. And come back and tell me what you get. What is your sender score? Sender score will be a number. Okay, so that's not a problem then, Neha. Some of you may find you get the same message Neha has got. Has anyone gotten a sender score? Okay, so sender score is saying that you haven't sent enough email to be assessed as a spammer or even a bulk mailer. Geetika is on 18. So that's very bad, Geetika. You will need to use either you should switch your internet service provider, maybe to one that has better reputation IP addresses, or you can do IP warming in order to improve the reputation. So sender score is usually a score, it's not usually, it is a score assigned between 0 to 100. This is based on all the things that go into reputation check. Anything below 50 is considered really bad. Ideal is anything over 70. So, Shreya, you're not yet in the danger zone, so to speak, but you should also definitely do IP warming and try and push that to over 70. Otherwise, many of your emails might bounce or just not get delivered. Yeah? Is there anyone else who's gotten a sender score? Okay, shall we move on? No, insufficient email is not bad. It just means that there's not enough emails being sent. Remember what is sender score tracking? It's tracking your reputation. And why is reputation important? Because you don't want mail servers to think that you're a spammer. So if insufficient email has been sent, that means that you're not in danger of being seen as a bulk mailer or a spammer. Clear? Okay, shall we move on to the next tool? Let's look at some tools relating to what we did on Tuesday. What did we do on Tuesday? We did database, right? We looked at databases. So let's look at how we can fill in some of those details in the database, notably the most important piece of information, which is email address. What are some ways by which we can get people's email addresses? You know that you can populate the database manually or ask people to give their own email addresses or import an existing one. But there are other ways by which you can actually extract email addresses. Be sure that you still, yes, but there are other ways by which you can get hold of people's contacts. Don't forget that you still need their permission before you can mail them. Okay, but extracting that information is a separate task. So let's start by extracting a database that all of you already have. Does everyone here have a Google account? Is there anyone here who does not have a Google account? How many of you have Android phones? Yeah, quite a few of you, right? So you know this already. You can only use an Android phone by signing into Google. So it is actually synchronizing. When you add your friend's name, it adds that detail, it merges it with the record that contains his or her email address as well. And as you keep picking up other pieces of information, Google is adding all that to a database. Do you know how to extract your Gmail contact list? All the other email addresses, email inboxes allow you to create a contact list, right? But Gmail doesn't let you create a contact list. There's no contact list that you create. Gmail creates it for you. The minute you send out an email, there is a contact list there, right? So let's look at how you can extract that contact list. This is what your Gmail inbox looks like. Under the Google logo, it says Gmail, which is a drop down menu. You need to go down that menu and click on Contacts. And this will open up a new window called contacts.google.com. When you do that, you'll see more in the sidebar, and under that, look at that. It's got import and export options. That means if you have a database like a MailChimp database which you want to put into your Google contacts, you don't need to manually put it in. You can just import it in here. Everybody knows how to get their MailChimp database, right? You have your database, you can take a backup and that will download it for you. And then you can just import it in here. But what about the contacts that I already have on Google? I can click on export over here and then it will say the preview version does not support exporting yet. So go to the old version. It'll open one more window. And on this third window, you can see more over here. Click on that and say export. It'll ask you which contacts do you want to export. Do you want family, friends, circle, all of these, or do you just want to go with all contacts? Now, this is a dummy email address I use. That's why you don't see a lot of contacts. But if you were to go and do this on your own mailboxes, you'll find there'll be hundreds of contacts. So you select all contacts and then you select the format in which to extract it. You can go with Google CSV and then you say export. Once you do that, it exports it and puts it on your desktop. When you open it, what are these called? Anybody remembers from Tuesday's session? What are all these called? These are called fields. Exactly. Now, because this is a dummy address, there aren't too many records filled in. There are some filled in which only email address is filled in, and that's only three of them. So the other fields are empty. But if you try this on your own official Gmail address, I mean, not official, but the one that you use, you'll find all these contacts are filled in. Now, this CSV sheet, in turn, you can then import it into MailChimp or wherever it is you want to take it into. Should I repeat the steps? This is your Google window, your Gmail window. You click on this, click on contacts. It'll open up a second window. In the sidebar under more, click on export. It'll say go to old version. When you click on that, it'll open this window where you say more and say exports. Select which group and which format and say export. Clear? So that's how you can extract your Gmail database. Let's look at LinkedIn extractions. LinkedIn is a rich source of information. Is there anyone here who is not on LinkedIn? Anybody here? If you're not on LinkedIn, you need to get onto LinkedIn immediately because you cannot be in digital and not be on LinkedIn or Facebook. Okay? So, LinkedIn is a social network that lets you create your professional profile and connect with other professionals. Let's look at how we can use these two to get hold of some information. Let's say I want to find digital marketing managers in Mumbai. How do I find that information? I could go to a Naukri.com, but Naukri or Monster or Jobs Ahead, all of these, they don't make it easy to navigate. I'll need a paid account. But LinkedIn allows me to navigate all that, and I can use Google in turn. So I can say, Google, please find me pages that have manager digital marketing in Mumbai from LinkedIn. Now, this gives me job listings. So instead, let me look for LinkedIn profiles. And I know LinkedIn profiles will usually have an email address. So I'm going to say gmail.com. And can you see? Now I've got Amit Deorurkar, Anirudh Kumar, Paurush Sonkar, Lalit Kumar Singh, Sumit Mudiraj, Neerav Gandhi, Manmeet Singh, so on and so forth. All of these are people whose LinkedIn profiles say that they are digital marketing managers in Mumbai. Useful? This is how you can use Google to navigate other tools as well. Now, how about email addresses? I've said gmail.com, which means this search result is showing me all the LinkedIn pages of digital marketing managers in Mumbai who also have a gmail.com address listed on their profiles. And here you can see the email addresses are available here as well. So I can copy this. I can copy this. And so on and so forth. Scroll down again. I can click on each profile and try and find out where their email address is and copy paste that, right? But this is rather laborious, and also I might make some mistakes when I'm copying. Like I might do this and the G and the A don't get copied, what will happen if I send an email to urav.agarwal1904@gmail.com? It'll bounce, right? So here's another set of tools that can help you get past this, and that's something called a email extractor tool. I'm going to shut these again. What's an email extractor tool? Once again, let's go to Google. I'm using Google Chrome right now. That's my browser. If I do a Google search for it, it takes me to the Play Store. No, not the Play Store, the App Store. And this is a free plugin that I can add to my Google Chrome. Mine is already added. So, how does this plugin work? This plugin is what you see this little link of. Can everybody see this little link over here? All of these are little tools that have been added to my Google Chrome browser. Can everyone see that? The one that looks like a little chain link. How does this work? Let me go back and do that search again. Manager, digital marketing, Mumbai, LinkedIn, gmail.com. So I've got all of these. Now you'll notice that chain link has the number 6. If I click on it, it shows me all these. I can just copy paste all these from here directly, or I can even tell it, I don't want to do all that. Just export all of this as a CSV. And when it does that, I can open it and find all the email addresses I want from that Google search. Clear? This is a free tool that you can install. So this is the email extractor tool for Google Chrome. Similarly, if you're using Firefox, you can also download a free one for Firefox. Both these browsers, these are the two most popular browsers in the world. Both of them have this. The Firefox email extractor tool looks a little like this. It looks like a funnel. It works in exactly the same way. It'll give you a little logo, and it'll give you the number of all the email addresses, and it'll allow you to export it and put it on your desktop. So that's how you can use Google and add-ons to extract further information from LinkedIn. This is what it looks like. Everybody clear? Everyone's with me so far? Okay, don't jump. One tool at a time. And Sagar, I'm going to let you find out that for yourself. Okay? I want to show you a few different things that you can do with Google. I'm not giving you an all comprehensive list of tools. The internet is full of hundreds and thousands of wonderful tools. I'm showing you the ones that I find very useful for email marketing. Yeah? And keep in mind that these are digital tools, which means that they get outdated pretty quickly, but they're usually replaced by others. Every day there are hundreds of new tools coming up. So keep on searching, keep yourself up to date on what's happening in the field. This field is constantly growing. So tomorrow this particular tool, email extractor tool, might get outdated, but there'll be others that do an even better job. It's exactly like apps. Now let's look at how to mine some of this data. We know how to extract it. Let's look at LinkedIn. Now, all of you know how to create your own profiles on LinkedIn, right? What do all of you do on LinkedIn? You create your profiles, and maybe when it's time for you to look for a new job, you go and update your profile, right? Does anybody else do anything else on LinkedIn? Is anybody here doing anything else on LinkedIn? Okay. Now, LinkedIn is a repository. Okay, so Alphan actually reads, which is great, reading through the updates, because LinkedIn does have a lot of really, really interesting content. But in addition to that, don't forget that LinkedIn is a solid database of professionals all over the world. And that's something that's very, very useful. Remember, I told you about looking at people's professional universes while designing bio personae? You should also know more about your database, about the people that you are mailing, and some of that is information you can extract from LinkedIn. I've shown you how to extract email addresses. Let's look at a few more things you can extract. Does everybody know that LinkedIn also allows you to create pages? Just like Facebook pages and Facebook groups, LinkedIn also you can create a page or a group. And pretty much every single major company and major college in the world has a LinkedIn page. It's literally necessary. You need to have a website, you need to have a presence on Facebook and on LinkedIn. Let's look at how to mine this information. What happens when you add a new job to your profile on LinkedIn? It gives you a drop down menu of all the companies, right? It lets you select only if you're working for a company, maybe a really new company, may you have to type in. But otherwise, it lets you select from all the major companies in the world, right? Everybody knows what I'm talking about? Yes or no? Now, what happens is when you select that company's page is getting that information and it's tracking that information. We are going to go and cull out that information and make use of it. So, I'm going to look for a particular page. Let me look for Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. What is this? This is IIM Ahmedabad, the country's number one B school. You can see there are multiple things here, but right here is a page which is the official page of IIM Ahmedabad. The link also will say linkedin.com/school/something. This is what a page looks like. Pages have updates. You can then choose to follow the page. Follow. Also, this page contains information about everyone on LinkedIn who has said that they studied in this college. That's very useful information, don't you think? And that's freely available for anybody to look up. You can see over here, it says 21,586 plus alumni. Let's actually see who these alumni are. Now it's actually tabulated all of it and said of this 21,000, 15,000 of them are in India, so many of them in Mumbai, so many in Delhi, and so on and so forth. These are the companies that they work for, these are the functions they're in. I can segment this database further. I can even put in starting date, end year. I can look for people by their name. Or let's say I'm interested in looking at people in Mumbai. So I don't want to look at 21,000 people. I want to look at these 3,812 people. These 3,812 people, now Mumbai has become a filter. 48 of them work in Reliance, 37 Boston Consulting Group, and so on and so forth. Let's look at Boston Consulting Group. What am I looking at now? I'm looking at people on LinkedIn who are working for the Boston Consulting Group, are living in Mumbai currently, and have studied in IIM Ahmedabad. There are 37 such profiles, of which 14 are in consulting, 7 in entrepreneurship, 3 in program and project management, and so on. Let me also click on this 3. What happens when I do that? If I scroll down, it actually shows me who these 3 are. So I've refined this database. I now know that there are 3 people who are in program or project management in Boston Consulting Group in Bombay who studied in IIM Ahmedabad. Let's look at any one of them. This is Aditya Khandelia. I'm not connected to him, but I can still see some details. I know which college he studied in, where he did his undergraduation. I know what are all the jobs he has done, what has been his career path. I can see what his skills are and what are the pages he's following. This is interesting. This is very, very useful, right? And this much is available even though I'm not even connected to him. How about his email address? His email address is not over here. Is there a way for us to find that? So let's see. If he works for a big company like the Boston Consulting Group, then he must have an official email address, right? So we are going to go on a sleuthing spree. Everyone knows what a sleuth is, right? How many people here are fans of Sherlock Holmes? Let's play Sherlock Holmes and find out his email address. What are some things that I know about him? I know his name. I'm going to copy paste it rather than type it to be completely sure. I know which company he works for. Now, every company, every email address in the world follows a simple format of, let me type this in here, person's name at the rate domain name dot com. This is the format of every email address in the world, isn't it? Now, this and this I already know. I need to first find out what is the domain name for Boston Consulting Group's official email addresses. So let's Google the Boston Consulting Group. It says the domain is www.bcg.com. So let's fill that in here, bcg.com. So his email address is something at bcg.com. Can I assume it's Aditya at bcg.com? Do you think I should assume that? I shouldn't, right? Because what if that is not the format the company uses? The emails will just bounce, right? So let's try and look for what his actual email address must be. Most companies, especially large companies like BCG, follow standard formats. So some companies have last name at companyname.com, some companies say first name at companyname.com, some of them use initials, some of them use underscores, full stops. So let's try and find out what is the pattern for Boston Consulting Group. This means we've got to look at about 5-6 different email addresses of people working at bcg.com. Let's ask Google that. So I'm going to say, Google, please show me web pages that contain email addresses that have bcg.com in them. I'm putting it in quotes because I want Google to find pages that have this term in them. Let's scroll down. Nothing here. There's no real email address. So I'm going to go to the second page. Don't forget, I'm being Sherlock Holmes here. That means I have to track down. It's not enough to just look at the first page of search results. Okay, here's an email, lingas.xenia at bcg.com. I'm going to copy this and put this here. I need a few more. Let me not assume based on one email address. Let's go to page 3. Now there's something that says rec.prc at bcg.com, but I think that's a generic email address like sales at companyname.com. So I'm going to ignore that. BCG info doesn't help me. Okay, here's one, janda.joel at bcg.com. Here's another, bante.oliver. See, I didn't copy it properly. Here's more, Alan Gregg. Let's find one more. I'll feel comfortable if I have 5 email addresses to look at rather than just 4. Here's one, dirks.suzanne at bcg.com. Several more, lecircle.magali at bcg.com. So I have 6 email addresses here. Is there a pattern emerging? I can't really tell with a name like Lingard, but it sounds like it might be a last name. So let's say that this is probably last name dot first name. Janda.joel could be anything. But Bante.Oliver, Oliver is a first name, so this looks like this is also last name dot first name. Alan and Greg are both first names and last names, so we don't know, but Suzanne is definitely a first name, so this works again here. I know that Magali Le Circle is how the person says their name. Oh, there's one more here. Gregopolu.Lena. And Lena is definitely a first name. So is there a pattern? There is a pattern. Joel is also a first name, yes. Which is why I've left it blank since I'm not sure. That's why the more I have, the better it is. But it looks reasonably clear that BCG's pattern is last name dot first name. So let's come back. What is the email address then we need? What is Aditya's email address? Kandelia.aditya@bcg.com. Excellent, right? Was that fun? Now we've managed to find out so much about a person that we are not even connected to, and all this is open information. Would you like to try this on your own? A little activity on your own? Yeah? Okay. So I'm going to give you an exercise and I'm going to give you 5 minutes to do it. But before we do that, here's how we are going to do this. I'm going to ask you to find out one particular person's email address. When you find it out, and I want their email address, their complete email address, I don't want the format, I don't want any links, I want an actual email address. You think you'll be able to do that? I'll tell you who the person is. When you share the answer, I don't want you to share it in the chat room. I want you to send it to me as a private message. So can we quickly check that everyone knows how to send a private message? Just go down under where you type in the chat. You'll see a drop down menu that says all entire audience. Click on that and select organizer only, or you can select my name, type in your message and say send. So let's test it out. Just say hi. Everyone who wants to participate in this activity. Okay, Jyoti, Geetika, I've received your messages. Can the others also please send me a hi? Sambit, Prachi, Chandana got it. Shreya got it. Alfin, Shambhavi, Priyanka, Pramila, Fedora, Francis, Francis Evans. How about the others? Strongly encourage you to participate. This is going to be a lot of fun and it's a really useful technique. And the more practice you get at it, the faster you'll get at it. Okay, so everybody who's doing this activity will please send me the answer in private message, okay? Let's see who gets to the answer first. Don't ruin the fun and share it on the public forum. So here's the person whose email address I want you to find out. Find the email address of the Chief Marketing Officer of Unilever and send it to me in a private message. Good question, Priyanka. I didn't say that, so don't assume it. The second. Okay, Geetika has an answer. That's good. Sharon also has given an answer. Fedora, where does it say limited visibility? Okay, Sharon, you've put it out on the public chat. I specifically said please don't do that. No, Fedora, you need to follow the steps that we went through. Sharon, please. That's really not. That's why we did that test. It's okay. Anyway, the people who've found it out, would you like to try one more while the others are still working on it? So Prachi and Sagar have also got it. Prachi's got it. Sagar, check your spellings. Your email will bounce if you send it to that address. Okay, so Geetika would like another one. I'm going to give you one more and 2 minutes, and then we'll go on to the next tool. Oops, sorry. The question is there on the slide. That's right, Sambit. So everyone who's gotten the Unilever answer can try the second question also, which is there in blue on the slide. And in 2 minutes, we'll get to the next one. All right, who's gotten the second question? That is not the correct answer, Geetika. Ha, I see you spotted where the error was. Jyoti has the right answer. Priyanka, that's not the right answer. No, sorry. Jyoti doesn't have the right answer. Priyanka, you have the right answer. On the slide, Pramila. Chandana, that's not correct. You have the right name, but the format is wrong. Okay, shall we go ahead? I've got plenty of other tools to show you. Can we go ahead? People, please come back. I do need to go ahead. That's not correct, Shreya. Yes, that's right, Chandana. Yes, do that, Geetika. That's fine. This is just a little activity to give you a little practice with it. Everyone has tried it, and if you made a mistake, you know where you've made the mistake as well. Right? Okay, so let's get on to the next tool. Now, here's the thing we have we have managed to find patterns. We've looked for patterns and we are assuming that email addresses will fit that pattern. But in really large companies, often there are multiple people with the same name, same first name, same last name. So sometimes they have to have variations. How can we be absolutely sure? So our next set of tools actually allows us to verify whether an email address exists or not. And that's this. Here, you can all try this. The Unilever email address that you all found out, type it in into this and see what you get. What did all of you say? keith.weed@unilever.com, right? Let's check. It says we feel that keith.weed@unilever.com is valid. On the other hand, if I put in weed.keith, okay, it looks like this is also possible. Hmm. Looks like Unilever has managed to put some kind of a block here because all of them are appearing valid. Let's try a couple of other tools as well. Oops, sorry about that. Sorry, it's jumped. The other tool is maxprog.com/email verifier.html. Okay, so this is a tool that you'll need to download in order to verify. Okay, I think you need to check the spelling, Alphin. Also, like I mentioned earlier, digital tools sometimes they develop bugs, sometimes they get outdated. The last month when I tested this, it worked. I'm not sure, these don't seem to work anymore. You can always do a search for email verification tools online free. And you can see there are several others: emailvalidator.com, emailchecker.net, verifilia.com/validate email. Okay? But email addresses can be verified before you send the emails as well. And please don't forget permission, always important. Just because you have someone's contact details doesn't mean it's okay to start sending them marketing messages. Okay? All right, and here's a quick video for all of you to watch. I'm going to give you the link. Please watch it and come back and tell me when you're done. Because after that, we're going to jump into a few tools that are about content creation for the email. We've already talked through MailChimp, but a couple of other tools that will help you fine tune the email when you're creating it. Okay, which tool are you talking about, Alfin? Yes, go ahead, Shambhavi. Which of the tools are you talking about, Alfin? It was verifyemailaddress.org, Alfin. It looks like there may be a problem with the tool then, because it was saying yes to everything on Unilever. Then I'm guessing one of the other tools would be better to use. Shambhavi, could you check with your coordinator on that? I'm not sure, but I think at least about 15, 20. Because if it's less than that, it doesn't seem like a email marketing exercise, right? It's more like a personal email. There's no way to. So how would they put blockers? They have pop-up blockers. and they can block emails sent from specific companies. Those blocks would be happening for companies that are bulk mailers. They're not going to block emails coming from a Flipkart or an Amazon, right? No, that's not the right answer, Sambit. Sambit, leave that and maybe try that later because you're missing out on the other things that we are going through. I've shared a video. I absolutely do not suggest bulk mailing through any platform, Chabnish. I guess you didn't have a chance to attend our first week, but bulk mailing is not email marketing. If you bulk mail, then a lot of your emails will not even get delivered, and you most certainly will get blocked by eventually, if not earlier, then later. Sooner or later, you will get blocked by most of your audiences, and that completely defeats your purpose. Even if you didn't have a chance to attend, you can actually speak to your coordinator and see whether it's possible for you to attend the first week session with maybe one of the other series, or you can also go and watch the videos of the session. It's super important. Yeah, okay. I don't think you've had a chance to attend any of the sessions, right? I don't really recall seeing you at on your name on the list. Ah, okay, okay. Anything that you've missed, you can always go back and watch the videos. And Outlook, incidentally, Outlook is a lovely tool for managing emails that you're receiving and creating as an independent individual. But Outlook does not let you track how many people opened your email, what kind of bounces happened. It also doesn't allow you to build the kind of fancy marketing emails that you may have seen. So, in our third week, we've actually gone through a MailChimp demonstration. Oops, I think I'm going to type out this whole thing. I guess I'm disturbing the people who are watching the video. Okay, so Chabnish will discuss this once the session is over. Okay. Okay, that's most people done. We're going to look at a few tools about building an email. You already know MailChimp, and the demo video is also there if you'd like to watch it again anytime. I hope you're all finding MailChimp easy to use. We can address any questions you have about it also at the end of today's session. But a few other things that will help you perfect your email. But before that, are we ready to give feedback? I have about four or five other tools to share. Yeah. Today's feedback is not for today's session, but for the entire email marketing course. So I'll need you to take at least a couple of minutes and think through that and leave that. Are we ready to give feedback now? Or would you prefer to do it a little later? Okay. You're all saying now, so I'm going to give it to you. Here's the link. Please click on it, take a minute, and rate the entire email marketing module. The Digital Vidya team will look at this to assess my performance and the entire team that put together this program. Also, this will be displayed on the Digital Vidya site. Let me know when you're done. There you go, Dwayne. Thank you, Priyanka. Wait until everyone finishes. Okay, should I go ahead? Is are most of you finished? Okay, I'm going to go ahead. Tools of email marketing, content creation. Right. In addition to Mailchimp, your language is really important. Sorry about the hanging 14 and 15. I didn't animate it properly, but how you communicate is super important. The first tool I want to talk about is Grammarly. I think a lot of you may already know of this tool, and if you don't, Grammarly is a pretty wonderful tool for proofreading. It's a free grammar checker. Grammarly also has a downloadable app, and it even has a little tool that you can install on your browser. So you'll notice I have this installed over here, which means that even if I'm typing in an email on Gmail, it will proofread it for me from within Gmail. So when I say, hello, Digital Vidya students, I've deliberately made spelling mistakes. Can you see there are? It actually gives me what it should be. I can just say correct with Grammarly and say students, digital idea. No, it should be digital Vidya. So that's how Grammarly works. I can also upload a document up to this, like a Word document, or I can create a new one and copy paste the whole thing in here, and it'll mark out which are the mistakes, the grammar mistakes I've made. So that's Grammarly. Uh, I'm giving you the name. The In addition to that, there's also a tool called Hemingway Editor. Hemingway is really cool because, well, you'll see what it does. So Hemingway Editor already has a sample document in place. I can just delete this whole thing and put in my document. But what does it actually do? Grammarly has already corrected my grammar. Hemingway app lets me make my writing tighter and more concise. So you'll notice there are lots of colors here. Let's look at the first one. Yellow is hard to read sentences. One of 11 sentences are hard to read. Red is very hard to read. Lavender is has a simpler alternative. Blue says is an adverb. That means that's not good. And green is use of passive voice. So the goal with Hemingway is to try and get rid of all the colors. What can I do? Let's try with the green. When I hover over it, it says use active voice. So phrases in green have been marked. So let's try, instead of have been, are marked. Okay. Instead of that, let's say green marked phrases show passive voice. And the color is gone. And now you can see green has become 0 and it says nice work. Let's look at the blue. When I hover over a blue, it says be bold, use a forceful verb. So instead of helpfully, let me just say omit. Adverbs are weak and weakening phrases are shown in blue. The perhaps can be omitted. So I've cleared up all the blues, but now a green has appeared. So let me change this to blue shows adverbs and weakening phrases. The pink has a simpler alternative. So when I hover over it, instead of utilize, I can say use. So that pink has also become 0. And now finally, let's try the yellow sentence first. This app highlights lengthy complex sentences and common errors. If you see a yellow sentence, shorten or split it. Let's start by just shortening it. I'm putting a full stop here and making it and there the yellow is already gone. Now the red one is a very hard to read sentence. If you see a red highlight, your sentence is so dense and complicated that your readers will get lost trying to follow its meandering splitting logic. Try editing this sentence to remove the red. First of all, let's move this. but this is still in red. If you see a red highlight, okay, so let's say red marks a dense, complicated sentence, full stop, and then let me remove this. See what I did? All the colors are gone, and now all of these have come down to 0, which means now my readability is grade 5, which means good. So this is Hemingway app. It makes you a better writer. So what can you do? You can draft your emails, then run them through Hemingway app. Make sure that Grammarly proofreads them for spelling mistakes, and then put that text, all that text into your MailChimp. Is that good? Does that work? How about spam content? Remember spam? How does the spam filter work? It looks for patterns in your email that match known spammers. Now, there is no easy way around this. There's really no easy way around this because it's not a formula. It's different words, phrases, what combination, and you cannot. So, I would not suggest copy pasting, by the way, Pramila, because when you copy paste from a Word document, it pastes some other code also into MailChimp, which could break your layout. So, the best thing to do will be to type it in as it is without making any mistakes, or try and see if you can paste it without any of the code. See how to do that. Okay. Anyway, these are marketing emails. They should not be very long, so it should not be too much of an effort for you to type it out again. Yeah. Okay. Now, when it comes to spam, you need to make sure that your email is not getting caught by the spam filter, because what will happen if it does? It'll hard bounce, right? Or it'll get pushed into the recipient spam filter. There's no easy way to do this, but here's a site. Firstly, here's a site that contains a list of some of the common spam trigger words. You scroll down here, it says please avoid these phrases. If you're in the employment industry, if you're in the financial services, money back, no cost, these are all seen as spammy phrases. So I'm going to share this list with you. This is on HubSpot. There's also another list on MailChimp, MailUp. The MailUp article even assigns a weightage. So 3.37. So that means reverses aging is really, really a bad phrase to use. In addition to these, there are tools that will also assess how spammy an email is or not. What you'll need to do is send them your email, and they will send you back a report on how spammy your email is. So it says first send your email here and then view your report. Similarly, Mail Tester also does the same thing. So these are free online spam checkers. I've used both of these and they are pretty good. They'll point out any phrases that are spammy or not. So the order to do this in is to run your email through a spam checker, then go through Hemingway app and Grammarly, and then if you've changed a lot of things, send it through is not spam or Mail Tester again. And once they've completely cleared it, then go and put it into MailChimp. MailChimp, all of you have already seen, but here's a setup guide that you can download in case you're still facing any problems. Post image is a really nice tool that lets you do something quite interesting. It's postimage.io. Now remember on MailChimp, I used images that I had already used in the past, but I could also upload new images. All of you have probably tried it already. At some point of time, you're going to run out of space on the free MailChimp account. So conserve your space. Images take up a lot of space. One of the things that MailChimp allows you to do is also import an image from somewhere else, which means that you need to host the image somewhere else. Post image lets you host images for free. All you do is, and you don't even need to sign in or log in. I'm going to pick up an image from here. It's uploading it right now. Once I've uploaded it, it's giving me the link. If you click on this link, you'll find the images right there. So you can give MailChimp this link and it'll pull the image from here without actually wasting the space on MailChimp. See, this gives you the image link. So the tool is, you can Shambhavi, but I'm talking about conserving space on your MailChimp account. Once you upload it to MailChimp, it's using up MailChimp space, right, in your account. And finally, we went through biopersona on Tuesday. I hope biopersona was very clear to all of you because it's a really, really useful tool for all marketers. If you're wondering how to start building your own biopersona, HubSpot has a really nice template that you can download. It contains things like background, your demographic information, identifiers like behavior, identifiers, goals, challenges, how to manage those goals, quotes by actual customers, their common hurdles or objections, what kind of marketing message, what kind of an elevator pitch. An elevator pitch is basically in 30 seconds, can you explain your 30 seconds, can you explain what your key proposition is? If you're able to do that, if you're able to think of how that will sound, then you'll be able to create emails that are very short and tight and concise. You can download this template right here. There's also a lot of different things. There's a course available as well and a free course if you want to know more about biopersonas, biopersoni. And that I think was our last tool. Here are some things that you'll want to think about when you're creating your email marketing strategy. Make sure you've done your IP warming in advance. If you've forgotten what IP warming is, refer to our first week. The videos are there. It's also there in your notes. So think about how many emails is it possible for you to send out. Accordingly, choose your email service provider and your internet service provider. Think about what is it you want your email to do. This will tell you what kind of database you need, what kind of email content you need, what kind of call to action, your business objective. Who am I going to send the email to? This will tell you what kind of fields to capture, when to send them, what kind of content to put in. We've looked at lots of examples of all of these. Where is your email likely to get stuck? Any good plan, foolproof it constantly. Keep thinking about before you send it out. Thinking of where are the places I could be missing out. What are all the gaps? Is my email too spammy? Am I sending it to the right audience? Are they responding well? Could I be rejected because of the reputation? Do I need to do something about that? Will the recipient open my email? Have I given them a good reason to? Will they be interested in going forward? Am I interesting? And have I ensured that there is a next step? Please make sure you always check the links on your email before sending it out because I've seen too many marketing emails that are really nicely designed, and when I click on the link, they've made some mistake in the link and it doesn't take me anywhere. That's a real waste of all the effort that you're going through in the email campaign. So make sure that you've got yourself protected on all of these. And if you do that, I think you'll find email marketing can be a very, very productive and a very high value exercise for any marketer. And obviously, keep tracking how your recipients are responding. I forgot that that step was there. That brings us to the end of the email marketing program.